Everybody, it is 7:44, Toys in the Attic, a perfect intro for the man we're going to talk to right now. Jerry Magee is here, the old toy picker, not to be confused with the old toy picker. No,
right.
The old toy picker,
old
Jackie. Because you have an event coming up here in a couple of weeks, and for the last couple of weeks and a couple of more weeks to come, you're going to be bringing old toys in.
Yeah, we got 2 more weeks left.
To show people what's going on and what some of the value of some of these things happen to be. But tell everybody about your event coming up in a couple of weeks.
We're going to be at the Ramada Tropic Resorts, which is on Merle Hay Road, just right at the corner of I-80 and Merle Hay. That's April 29th through the May 3rd, and we're there to buy old toys, so we got to have everybody getting in their closets, and we know everybody is because we're getting a lot of emails and calls about that. And today we're looking at pressed steel toys, some other things that we're especially looking for that most people have.
Pressed steel.
Yeah, the old Tonka trucks, old metal toys. They survived.
As toys just aren't made like that anymore. Everything's cheap plastic that breaks down
and they've
easily.
a lot of made in China stuff, and the old school is coming back. There's a lot of stuff being made in America now again.
Nice, good.
Where at? Do you know where some of the places are?
On like Ohio. Again, some of the old tooling places that used to be, well, Ertl's still obviously popular to these days still. Now
That's with a lot of John Deere stuff though, right?
John Deere and all the famous, Macy Ferguson, International, and the farm toys is huge. We've got a small example here because it takes a lot of space, but anything that's farm related, especially here in the Midwest, is very popular. Heck, they make new stuff that goes for a lot of money.
Right.
Really?
Yeah, you see that anytime you go to a tractor show. But what are some examples of things that are worth a lot these days?
Well, again, these are things we picked today that a lot of people will really have in their closets because they survived, and the fire trucks are very popular.
That's
there were so many
cool.
things that they could do with these that the kids could pretend they were firemen. One of the top things on the list besides astronaut. And
there's a little lever on here, and
this actually shoots water, and it's actually battery operated as well.
So it really squirts water.
It really squirts water. You got the little nozzle that you can hook up to it, and it's a siphoner. So you siphon it like with a syringe.
Oh, okay, gotcha. It's like
and this particular one has the lights that light up, and the wheels turn and goes forward and back. And
so what would something like this go for?
Well, this one's actually, and they don't have to be mint. This one actually has never been used. Still has the price tag with it. That's from the 60s, and something like that in that condition, easily $65 to $85.
Wow. And what would they have sold for back then? Do you have any idea?
Yeah, I do. About $8.99. And that was very, very popular.
That's a cool.
Well, even a lot of when I go to the toy stores, and I admit I like to do that with the boys, but even a lot of the new Tonka stuff is plastic. A lot of it is not metal.
Yes. Now, technically, though, they have remade Tonkas.
Have they?
Old Tonkas. They've actually sent the molds to China.
Oh, yeah.
And they made them exactly. They weigh the same. We've checked them. The wheels are different. But then a lot of people cheat and they take wheels off some older one and put it on the new one.
I was going to say, how do you know if you have a newer one or an older one?
I was fooled the first time that I saw them. I had no idea. So it can happen, but people are getting savvy to it now.
Okay.
And here's another thing for people to understand, that just because it doesn't have to be mint with the tag to be worth money. A lot of people, you played with toys.
Right. They're going to break.
And here's an example. You've got the wheels here that aren't as shiny, and the paint's a little roughed and scuffed. But you can easily make the wheels shiny again. There's a good example. They make replacement parts, like this is missing the little Jeep windshield. Even the little steering wheel goes here. And all of that, because Tonka is so popular, they make the parts for it. So people, even though they think that I just got some beat up toy, it's not worth anything. No, not really.
That's a little tiny parts catalog. You got to open it real small.
It's a huge parts catalog.
Is it really?
Yeah, you should see it, and that's for all kinds of the famous toys like Structo, and Buddy L is very popular as well. They held up.
Now, what else? You have a train there next to your left hand. Now,
again,
that looks awful rusty.
And that's why I brought this too. We're trying to show people that doesn't have to be just beautiful to be worth something. This right here is actually from the 20s, and it survived. And a lot of people take these and they sandblast them down and they paint them, make them look beautiful again. They make the replacement wheels as well.
They do.
As long as they're not chipped where they can actually work with it.
Right.
There's guys, they do this all day long and just love it. It becomes a real nice hobby for people, but they survive. People have them in their closets, there's no doubt about it.
Skidoo?
So what would something like that run?
In this condition, just right here, it's about $45.
Wow.
When they restore it, about $125.
Wow.
This is a very, very good, hard to find, and especially train collectors like stuff like that too.
So it's worth the time to do it.
It is, yeah, it really is.
Okay, and here's something we gravitated toward right when you first got here. You guys remember these cars growing up? Well, if I turn it over, maybe you will. Look at this, with the brushes.
Yeah.
These brushes are flexible, and you had to make sure they had contact, and they have little metal tracks in the grooves.
Right, slot cars.
There's a slot in the track, and then two little
And you
metal
used to be a
tracks.
racer, so you know what that's all
We had
about.
these. My cousin had these. We had the little HO size, little smaller ones. But this here, in this condition, Corvette here, is about what? Worth about what?
That's going to go for $125.
This one here will?
Yeah, yeah.
Really?
So be careful.
It's a Corvette.
Put it back down,
And
Lou.
it's very,
No, it has
very
the
popular.
motors. We used to rewind these motors to make them go faster. You can see here, Tom. Okay, you rewind those motors with different types of wires to make them go quicker, and
And that
little
made it
tricks that you
that
had.
made it fun. That's what
Yeah.
kids did back then, not just doing the video games all the time. They'd
Right.
play with those all day.
Yeah.
And couldn't wait for the next day to do it all over again.
Exactly. That
You
was a
know,
lot
that's
of
the
fun.
huge part of it. But by the way, I just have a small example here of stuff. But the big, anybody that has bigger old press steel toys like Tonkas, and in particular we're talking about Tonkas today, there is just a plethora of really rare stuff. And this, just like right here, this is an advertising piece.
From Wheaton, okay?
Anything that has any advertising Green Giant on it is automatically worth triple or more.
Triple or more?
Yeah.
Wow.
Is it worth someone's time to get the replacement parts before they bring them to you, or is it just
No, it's not.
Okay,
You know,
just
they
bring 'em
wouldn't
in.
have the access to it, but we do, so that's how we find homes. We don't fix them either, but we know people that are collectors
do that.
do. You
Okay.
know, so-
Excellent. All right, let's tell everybody about your event again. It's coming up in just a couple of weeks. He's going to be back for a
can't
couple
wait
more
for this
weeks
thing.
to show this off. But this is what's going on here, folks. Ramada Tropics Resort and Conference Center, and that's going to be going on, and it's from April 29th through May the 3rd. So go over there.
We have a gift for you. A
Oh,
slot car
look at
set.
that.
Slot car set.
I've been
Look at this.
And
Slot
those
car
are-
challenge.
Those
Oh
are
my
Mustangs.
gosh.
So that's yours.
Thank you so much.
We're setting that up
Jackie
in your
got her.
office.
Nobody knew it, but Jackie got the Go-Go Jackie Barbie
That's
doll
right.
last time. So
Is
That
it
is
still
really
over here? Or did you
cool.
take it
it
home?
was Lou's turn.
The
Girl-
Go-Go Barbie.
girl-
The Go-Go Barbie's right there, Jackie. Right there.
Oh, there she is.
There she is. She stayed over here. That is so cool. Thank you so much.
You are welcome. Yep.
That is awesome.
Playing with our old toy.
That is great. So if you have anything in your attic or in your garage or basement, come on out in a couple of weeks. Bring it over to you. You are buy. Right?
Yes, yes, and paying cash.
And paying cash for us as well. But you're coming back next week?
Yep.
What are you doing next week?
Next week is Star Wars.
Oh, Parkin is going to be in 7th heaven.
I know, and a few back there.
Okay. Lots of folks will be.
Superhero stuff from the 80s is really, really strong right now. So
That is great. Well, wonderful. Jason, want to go set this up?
Yeah, man, we're going to race.
All right, we'll be right back. This is a great day.